How's it going? It seemed like a little bit longer between the end of the game till right now. Did you have a lot to say to him after the game?
We all had a lot to say to each other, I think. But yes, we did have a lot to talk.
Productive?
We'll know over time whether it's productive or not.
Free throw shooting obviously wasn't great tonight. Is that something you have to have?
We lost by 10 and we missed 11, and then a handful of them were front ends of the one-on-one, and when it relates to momentum and so forth. Yeah, we shoot 72% this year.
70, 68.
70. So, doesn't help.
Julian, it was a shootout there tonight. The other kid wasn't really hitting, and the kid Mockford, to his credit, kind of stepped up. What was it like? Was they just kind of stretching out the defense, stuff like that?
Well, they did a good job of penetrating. They penetrated, usually penetrated from the baseline, made us sink in more and help, and then they got easy kickouts.
Yeah. How good does it feel to have Lamar back, operating the offense? You can tell he was eager to be out there. First play, kind of instigates a turnover almost, and then,
It's definitely good having him back. He's instant offense off the bench. When he starts, he'll have a big contribution. We just got to get him back in the shape and ready to go.
That's what I was going to ask. How difficult was it to kind of reintegrate him, I guess, tonight? Was that difficult at all? Or because he's been practicing anyway, was it not that big a deal?
It is an issue. I don't know, but I don't think it was a big deal. And I think it was more Lamar's excitement about playing and so forth. Yeah. Lamar's a better foul shooter than 3 for 7. I thought he played fast. He always plays a little fast. I thought he played extra fast tonight, and that resulted in some good things, and then some things that weren't as good.
Can you talk about the look that Kelvin is giving you so far?
He's played well. He's played well. He's certainly, at times, shot the ball well. Pretty consistently shot the ball if we get him the right shots. But as a group, there's a lot of room for improvement. And there were moments, again, it's about consistency for this group, which it really isn't there, and about confidence, playing with a little more swagger. That's a guy like Sean Atukum, who had been through a lot of things, brings that a little bit, in a way, when things aren't going, when the bat wall's not falling, and you need to still have a little confidence in it. I think that experience plays a big part.
What were your impressions of St. Francis? I mean, 1-4, but they played a pretty tough schedule.
My impression of them before the games, they're very good.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have easily won some games and played some good some games. They have shooters, they can put the ball in the basket, and they play hard. So I thought they were a good team, and I thought we put ourselves in a position in many ways in the first half to be in the game if we make some shots. I thought we came out and did some things offensively, execution-wise. We did some different things, got some different guys involved. The disappointing thing in the early part of the game was that we gave up the threes that we did. And their first 4 baskets were on threes. And I think sometimes young guys don't realize what college shooters are like, how they're different than high school shooters. And I think that showed up.
Offensively, you guys, like you said, you got off to a decent start. You're up 11-9. Only scored 8 points the next 13 minutes of the first half. Again, we talked about this a little bit the last game, but is that a product of not getting the shots that you want, of too many turnovers, or is it just not making the shots?
I think it's a little combination of both. Turnovers, then you get the shots, get to the foul line, miss foul shots, and then you get some shots inside, and you don't make the inside ones. So it was, you can't have all 3 of those things. Right. Going on.
How I take it that you guys are not where you want them to be right now. How much of a surprise is that, and how far, can they still go at this point?
We can go very, very, very far, I think. And how much of a surprise? I don't think it's a surprise in many ways. I mean, again, like, going into the year, our senior played 1,100 minutes prior to this, and Julian, our sophomore, played 1,000, and that's it. And so, in that regard, it's not surprising. And then, with the injuries and setbacks and things that we've had, it's been a very different course than we thought we would take.
Calvin, what's your comfort level out there right now?
Right now, it's getting better.
What is I guess this is the first time I've talked to you. How did everything turn about that you ended up here as a walking on here, where I guess I take it you had some opportunities to do other things, including football?
I had real hair, and I was actually interested into the school, and that's when the coaches that came along and she came to start coming to some of the games. I had got enrolled into the school, and I just walked onto the court, and you said, play with me and see what I can do.
Are you at all surprised with getting so much playing time and doing so well? I mean, obviously you've got a good pedigree, but walk-ons aren't traditionally supposed to do this.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I'm thankful for the amount of time I'm getting, and I'm just trying to give it my all.
Well, what have you noticed about the college game so far?
It's faster, more physical.
What with obviously a short turnaround now, you've got one day to practice. What's the main thing to do tomorrow? What are you going to try to get at tomorrow to get a different team, Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know that right now. I go back and watch the tape, and then figure that out. I got to watch tape to figure out exactly what we will do. Again, it's a long process. But last year, we had a really poor outing at LIU, and it's a little different at LIU, and then turned around and came out and had a great outing the next night at St. Francis, and I think St. Francis was like 8-0 at home, blah blah blah. We beat them at home, so it's very doable. You compete with Minnesota in the second half. You upper 29 on a Hartford.
Right.
There's moments that it's there. It's getting this group to believe in themselves and continuing to do the things that we do when things aren't going our way.
I was going to ask you about the Hartford game. Obviously, you guys got off to a great start. Outside of that, you've really dug yourselves holes in the first half of pretty much every game.
We talked about that a little bit. We've talked about that. I don't know that that's some of the stuff we talked about tonight. I don't know that there's a clear explanation on that. And it's weird. It's like, it's not so much dig right away, right? Because we were up 11-9, and then sort of the other team settles in, and then for whatever reason we just don't respond to that next punch. Let's figure that out.
Do you feel like there are issues within the team? I mean, or was it a good kind of talk after the game today? I mean, that's getting things out.
No, I don't think there's issues within the team. I think that I think learning how hard it is. And I talked to this about it a little bit last year. Like, even the older guys were guys that they were just along. They were just there for the winning. Like I guess we don't even have. Was Danny on that team?
He was,
Right. Like he just along. There's no real understanding of how hard it is to win, and you have to go through something. I remember the Siena team that we took over when I coached at Siena the prior year. you know, they struggled, but they were freshmen and sophomores, you know, and I'd like to think that we did a lot of stuff to help them that following year, but the reality of it is they were juniors and sophomores the next year, and that makes a difference. You know, it's the same kids. And so we'll grow up fast, and getting Trice back will be better, and getting Jacoby should help, getting Christian some more minutes, you know, getting him more comfortable out there. It's been a long time since Christian's played basketball. At times it looks that way. You know, at other times it looks all right.
Last year's group, you said with the exception of 1 week, there were no real step backs. Have you had any step backs this year?
I don't think we've had setbacks. We all wish we were improving faster, I think.
You kind of, last thing for me, you kind of went through what's happened this year. I think maybe a lot of the same type of things happened last year, where kids leaving school and injuries and things like that. Are you getting a little bit frustrated with,
No.
2 years, a lot of things getting thrown at you these
That's
days?
college basketball.
I mean, was that fairly common to you over all the years that you were in the system? You saw a lot of this type of thing?
At different times, at different places. I mean, it just, you know, you hit certain strides. I mean, right, they talk about Coach K and his start and how it was close, and you can go PJ. There's so many stories of guys that, like, it just, you don't know. You don't know. And sometimes you walk in a new situation and you get a nice group. Like I said, the Siena group was in a nice position where everyone had gone through the growing pains and so forth. So, you know, injuries, the stuff that you can't control. It's about guys working hard and competing and getting better. You can only play the cards that you're dealt. And keep working to improve that hand. I like my guys.